Right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Cops and cannabis. As officers leave the force, they're finding careers in an unlikely place.
April ends with thunderstorms. When and where the severe risk is highest.
Smash and grab. A Barnes-Jewish Hospital parking garage is the latest target.
It's getting out of hand, and it needs to be stopped.
Michelle Lee found one of the victims who says crooks hit car after car. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. Michelle Lee is live at that parking garage in the Central West End, working to get answers for those victims. Michelle.
Good evening. So I do want to tell you that I tried to contact BJC and Metro PD to get an answer for you for this newscast, to get an update. But the truth is, communications people do not work this late. However, I will tell you who does: the overnight nurses, doctors, healthcare workers who are actively saving people's lives and are now afraid to come to work.
It was 3 hours of cleaning up glass and making a temporary window fix, and just a lot of hassle.
It's not just an inconvenience when something like this happens.
Very shaken up, and you lose your sense of comfort.
Jason's worried about his wife, who works overnights at Barnes-Jewish and ended her shift dealing with this.
Shattered windshield here.
The hospital spokesperson said multiple break-ins happened at 3:15 a.m. More than 2 hours later, a security guard reported 13 smashed windows to Metro Police. The number Jason and his wife say they heard directly from security was 30 to 40, which we have yet to confirm.
I park here usually 6 days a week, and I've never had any trouble with it.
There are cameras and more.
I feel like it is safe. We seen some security yesterday.
But unless you work at BJC, you wouldn't know anything happened. No signs of damage or even a note.
Yeah, I gotta park here for work, so yeah, I'll still park here.
With so many garage break-ins being reported here on 5 on Your Side, it makes people wonder what is going on.
I feel like it's an epidemic in the city right now that, vehicles are being broken into seems like a daily basis.
It's adding another barrier to those who need to be in the city.
We have the employees there, and they need to feel safe. If they're valued, they need to have more security there.
Even if nothing was stolen, something was certainly taken.
Pretty angry that this just continues to happen and makes you not want to come downtown,
So even though police aren't saying much at this hour, I can tell you this, that Jason told me that he heard from a security officer that there were very good pictures of two people taken wearing backpacks. Now, that doesn't tell us much, right? But it does give him a little bit of a peace of mind that someone will be caught and arrested. That's a story from the Central West End. Michelle Lee, 5 on Your Side.
Just a few hours ago, a St. Louis County jury came back with a guilty verdict for a man accused of killing his pregnant wife. Bo Rothwell was convicted on first-degree murder charges. It took the jury just a couple of hours to reach that decision. Earlier in the day, Rothwell took the stand and admitted to killing his wife Jennifer with a mallet at their Creve Coeur home in 2019. Rothwell claims it happened during a heated argument about his extramarital affair. Prosecutors argued the murder was premeditated. Sentencing is set for July 8th.
Well, it was a rainy night at the ballpark. Tonight's Cardinals-Diamondbacks game wrapped up just about 15 minutes ago. No delays due to the rain, but Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is tracking some more rainy and stormy days ahead.
The Cardinals have 3 more games against the Diamondbacks. I think we're going to get them in, but like tonight, there may be a few little bumps in the road. Not exactly the most pleasant evening to be out and around St. Louis. Mainly light rain, though, for the metro area. Some of it is still coming down, especially in the metro east. But you look back in St. Charles, seems to have let up some there. Traffic's on the roll. Here, look at the radar pictures. Our Doppler radar showing some more showers and thunderstorms off to the west and southwest, coming out of the Ozarks, parts of mid-Missouri. This is mainly going to stay to the south of St. Louis. Right now in the immediate metro area, we're down to just a couple of spritzes and sprinkles as that area of more steady, even though it was light rain, has shifted on to the east. 60 degrees there with your live look in Florissant in North County. Showers, some thunder. Yeah, we'll have it going into tomorrow, but it's not continuous. There is a severe threat, though, Saturday. That's what we need to be concerned about, and it's mainly in the afternoon and evening. We'll get you through tomorrow, tell you why your evening plans tomorrow looking pretty good, and then we'll talk about severe weather. That's all coming up in about 15 minutes.
All right, Scott, thanks. Neighbors have had enough with an ongoing dumping problem in their North St. Louis County neighborhood. A viewer I met the other day while out covering another story alerted me to this problem.
Now those who live in the village of Riverview want all that trash cleaned up for good. New tonight, we sent our Robert Townsend to check it out.
Tattered tires, filthy furniture, mud-stained mattresses.
I mean, it's a bit sad.
You name it.
They pull up and they stop and they toss it.
And Vanessa French and her neighbors say driver after driver.
It's a complete dumping ground all around. Trash bins and plastic bins.
Have cruised through the village of Riverview and dumped all kinds of trash on vacant properties and along roads.
And I could call the police, but is that really an emergency thing?
A concerned French lives next door to the village's main office. Nobody was there when we stopped by.
I've made calls because sometimes they just leave things in the middle of the street. Imagine what critters and things could crawl out of there. It's a bit much for me.
She showed us the heap of trash along Scranton Avenue and in the 10,000 block of Stimson Drive. Neighbors say 3 years ago, illegal dumpers turned this fire-ravaged, now vacant house on Stimson into a dumping site that just keeps growing. It's right down the street from residents' homes.
Like, it's amazingly disrespectful.
Neighbors tell us the nasty problem has been going on for years, and they also say the illegal dumpers are not just tossing all this trash out at vacant sites.
Like, they'll ride by my home and they'll just throw trash out. I've even seen them open the trash can and put trash in my dumpsters. So yeah, it's horrible.
Homeowners say it is hurting their property values and ruining their neighborhoods.
I just want to clean it up.
Robert Townsend.
If they would send out a flyer and say that I can show up and volunteer, I would absolutely do that. 5
on your side.
Robert reached out to the chairman of the Village of Riverview and to County Councilwoman Shalonda Webb. Since that area is in Webb's 4th District, for comment, he has not heard back.
Breaking news tonight from the CDC. The agency is reporting the first human case of avian flu. In a news release we received just 2 hours ago, it says the person had direct contact with poultry while working at a commercial farm in Colorado. The patient reported fatigue for a few days and has since recovered. The H5N1 virus has been reported in poultry and birds in 29 states, including Missouri and Illinois. The CDC says risk to the general public remains low. Area police departments are having a manpower problem. Officers are leaving the force faster than they can be replaced. The I-Team's Christine Byers checked with area police departments this week about their shortages. She found out where some officers are going, and it's where you might least expect to find them.
This was not a career path I actually saw for myself.
Joe Patterson was a St. Louis County police officer for 11 years.
Spent most of my career working on the Violent Crime and Narcotics Task Force.
That all changed when the state legalized medical marijuana.
Missouri has put together a very comprehensive plan to keep these businesses heavily regulated, and there's a strong emphasis on security.
These days, Patterson can be found inspecting medical marijuana dispensaries like in Bliss in Manchester.
Our goal is to get everything coming and going from this exit.
The state requires dispensaries to have 2 security audits a year.
What's really important is that we get the time in and then we get the time out correct.
Demand for security experts, especially former officers like Joe, is booming. In Missouri, medical marijuana sales reached $160 million the first year. We checked with the state again this week, and in the past 6 months, sales have nearly doubled, totaling almost $300 million. Right now, there are 188 marijuana dispensaries, and another 341 are waiting for license approval. That means more security crews to keep dispensaries safe.
Do you expect to see more law enforcement officers getting into this industry as well?
Yeah, I'm approached on basically a weekly basis.
So is Kevin Schnell.
We are getting flooded with resumes right now, applications of many are wanting to get out of law enforcement.
Schnell left the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department to start a company of his own. In just 18 months, KC Can Transport has grown to 23 employees.
Who better than military and law enforcement veterans to protect those facilities? They have the training, the experience.
It comes at a time when police departments are losing a large number of officers. The I-Team found that the St. Louis Police Department is 127 officers short, and the St. Louis County Police Department is down 72 officers. The St. Louis Police Officers Association represents police officers. We talked to Union President Jay Schroeder to find out why officers are leaving the profession.
Across the country, guys are leaving police departments to go work in the medical marijuana field.
73 police officers died in the line of duty across the U.S. in 2021. That's the highest number since September 11th.
Why wouldn't you take the money and go somewhere and do something that's 10 times safer for, twice the money sometimes?
For Schnell, it was a little bit of everything.
Unlike law enforcement in this day and age, we're actually appreciated. People actually want us there. They feel safe. They say it all the time.
And if someone told Patterson he would one day be protecting people selling medical marijuana?
I would have never believed him in 100 years.
For the I-Team, Christine Byers, 5 on your side.
Yeah, the I-Team has learned officers could make as much as twice their salaries going into the medical marijuana safety business.
Tonight, we're hearing from the family of former Missouri State Representative Cora Faith Walker. It comes 24 hours after the city medical examiner released her cause of death. We now know Walker died from a heart condition when she collapsed at a hotel in downtown St. Louis last month. Walker's family says she dedicated her life to public service and, quote, "We once again issue our call for the community to remain committed and devoted to continuing Cora Faith's work."
Activating downtown St. Louis.
An idle downtown is a troublemaker's paradise.
The big block party tomorrow to promote community and deter crime. These guys have wormed their way into Missouri. We verify claims they're invasive, venomous, and hard to kill.
The severe weather chances ramp up Saturday afternoon. When and where the greatest threat for severe weather will be.
If you have a tip for the 5 on your side I-Team, call us at 314-444-5231 or email 5onyourside@ksdk.com. All calls and correspondence will be kept confidential.
In less than 18 hours, a free event aimed at getting people to downtown St. Louis kicks off.
Even the mayor's office is joining the effort to create a safe environment for people to gather. Brent Solomon is live downtown to take a closer look. Brent?
Yeah, it's called City Social, and tomorrow Washington Avenue will be blocked off to make room for the extra foot traffic.
Are you ready to get social? Live music from local artists, food, fun, and drinks on Washington Avenue.
We're in this business to help people make memories, laugh, come together, and that's what this event is all about.
Business owners Cage Sanford and Jabia Gillum are excited to bring their pop-up bar to the city's newest event.
You can always come and get your classic cocktails, so your Manhattans, your old fashions, your gin and tonics, but also you'll definitely have some kind of curated stuff as well, specifically for City Social.
It's an initiative to get people downtown.
We have an interest in making sure that downtown is a revitalized place where everyone feels welcome.
Angela Pearson is with the mayor's office.
You're going to see lounges in our kickback corner. You're going to hear tunes from DJ James Biko. We're going to have live art demonstrations from local artists. You'll be able to buy their art as well.
And don't forget local businesses ready to welcome you. Pearson says events like this help make the city safer.
When we talk about having a safe downtown, that means bringing people here. An idle downtown is a troublemaker's paradise. And so in order to combat that crime, we have to have people here to do things.
Security will be located at each entry point and throughout the festival. All you have to do is get there.
I think for downtown St. Louis to have a facelift and a new narrative, and I think City Social is going to do that without a doubt.
We want to bring people back downtown. We haven't done anything like this since the pandemic.
All right, the event will go from 4 until 9 tomorrow, and then there will be after parties at some of the indoor venues here. Organizers say this will happen rain or shine. Live in St. Louis, Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
Missourians who receive food stamps could soon use their SNAP benefits at restaurants. A bill narrowly passed the state Senate today, 18-15. It will apply to nearly 182,000 households. The legislation now goes to the House. Illinois will start allowing food stamps at restaurants this spring.
It's that time of year. You're out in the yard prepping and planting. You may have seen claims about a venomous invasive worm that, if spotted, must be killed immediately. Let's verify. Shared 2,200 times, this Facebook post warns about an invasive species, the hammerhead worm. And there's quite a few claims. You need to kill it ASAP, but don't cut it into 10 pieces because it will grow 10 more worms. Instead, dissolve in salt and vinegar or freeze it. And it has an incredibly potent toxin, also found in pufferfish. So don't let the worm make contact with your skin. What's fact and what's fiction about the hammerhead worm? Our sources: William Crow, professor of nematology, that's the study of roundworms, at the University of Florida; Kelly McGowan, field specialist in horticulture, University of Missouri Extension; and local entomologist James Traeger. Professor Crow says the worm is native to Malaysia, and yes, it's been spotted in Missouri. Our experts agree it got to the U.S. hitching a ride on soil and plant material imported here, and it's spread the most in southern states. The first hammerhead worms in Missouri were found in Springfield in 2018. This video was taken in that same area in 2020, and dozens of other sightings have been reported around the state. However, no reported sightings yet in the St. Louis area. So what threat do they pose? Our experts say they hunt and eat earthworms, so they can be disruptive to the ecosystem. Now let's fact check those specific claims in the post. Our experts say it's true. You should kill hammerhead worms if you see them. And yes, true. If you cut them up, they'll just morph into more worms.
It's not a worm that needs to have sexual reproduction. It reproduces by budding, so it just kind of pinches off little pieces of itself that then grow into more worms.
The next claim, also true. You can successfully kill them by dissolving them in salt and vinegar or freezing them. But our experts say the most humane way is to squish them. As for the incredibly potent toxin they excrete, that is false. Our experts say it's a mild toxin, and if the worm makes contact with your skin, just wash the area. We can verify 3 out of 4 claims in the post are true. And the hammerhead worm can actually grow up to 6 inches. So what can I verify for you? Let me know by texting the word verify to 314-425-5255.
Well, today, the city of St. Louis honored one of the funniest women in town. Mayor Tashara Jones proclaimed today Nikki Glaser Day in St. Louis. The popular comedian, who went to Kirkwood High School, moved back to her hometown during the pandemic. Her new docuseries, Welcome Home, Nikki Glaser, premieres this Sunday on E! And Glaser says all this attention makes her feel special.
I feel like the popular girl today, and let me tell you, it feels good. You can suck it. All those girls who didn't let me sit with them in the cafeteria back in high school, but you want to sit with me now? Do you, please, still? I want to sit with you still. I haven't forgotten.
Nikki got to throw out the first pitch at tonight's Cardinals game. She's also getting her own star on the Del Mar Loop.
So cool. She's been so successful, and she kept it clean for the interview. So
yeah, kinda.
Yeah, that's all you can ask.
A little bit.
All right, Scott. Rain, 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 rain.
Yeah, you know, your worm story just.
Yeah, appetizing.
I don't know why, but it just is.
Ready to get in the garden?
Yeah, but when it's going to be wet, and so the worms are all going to be right there waiting for you, you know.
Gotta squish them.
But not the hammerhead. All right, here you are looking at it, Lambert, right now. Still a little rain at the airport. We've only picked up about 4 5/100ths of an inch officially at Lambert, so not a lot of rainfall. This has been light. Somewhat annoying, but light, sliding through the area. Back edge now coming up on Carlisle Lake, stretching down along the Kaskaskia River here, right at the St. Clair, Washington County line, Clinton County line. So the main area that we've dealt with this evening, albeit light, sliding off to the east. Now, you may be seeing some flashes of lightning over our far western portions of the viewing area, Herman down to Rolla. There are some showers and thunderstorms. Yes, a little cloud to ground lightning here coming out of mid-Missouri. This is all sliding eastbound at this point, so it's going to come right along the Missouri River. So the northern fringes of this may clip St. Louis. The downpours more likely will be down 44 in the next 2 or 3 hours. We're not going to see anything like these big storms that are ongoing across parts of Nebraska and right across far northern portions of Kansas. They've been producing some big hail this evening. Our temperatures, we've dropped back into the 50s to around 60 degrees at this point. You look downtown, it's still damp. They played baseball through this tonight. Wasn't the most delightful evening at Busch Stadium weather-wise. 60 degrees. 72 was our high. That was before the rain moved in. And again, updated from the airport, about 5/100ths of an inch. Here's the good news. If you have tickets to tomorrow evening's game, or maybe you're heading over to the Fox tomorrow evening, yeah, we have showers that'll come in here, especially mid to late morning into the afternoon. A few rumbles of thunder. None of this expected to be severe. It's moving off to the east by the evening rush hour. Skies becoming partly cloudy. We're looking good, quiet, and actually fairly mild tomorrow evening. and then we'll turn our attention to Saturday morning. Dying showers and thunderstorms come our way. They'll kind of fizzle out on us as we head towards 9 or 10 o'clock. That's not what we're concerned about on Saturday. It'll be later in the day, after lunchtime, and especially east and southeast of St. Louis. That's where our severe weather risk is. That includes some winds, may knock down a couple of tree branches, potential for an isolated, quick-hitting tornado. Certainly there. Still some question as to what will develop and exactly where it will develop as we head into the early evening hours on Saturday, but it will be east and southeast of St. Louis. And here's the good news. It's gone Saturday night. So Sunday is dry, and you're in the mid-70s, a beautiful day. Looking into next week, yes, the unsettled pattern returns. There will be rain chances next week, but it's not a continuous rain. But we've had enough to get those worms right to the top of the ground for your weekend chores.
I'm sorry I grossed everybody out.
Scott's going to have trouble sleeping tonight. All right, Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Well, Mike, we have it all tonight. Suspensions to a star player, an incredible pitching performance. A St. Louis kid is a first-round pick in the NFL draft, and the Blues jerseys are going to look a little different in the future.
And here we go. You knew something was going to happen, and here it is. Both benches empty, and they are really going at it now.
Because of that fight, Nolan Arenado was suspended for 2 games. Genesis Cabrera was hit for a game and served his suspension tonight. 2 Mets players and Jack Flaherty were fined. Adam Wainwright was asked this afternoon what he does in those situations.
I go to the biggest guy or the most excited guy and try to diffuse the situation. That's what I'm good at.
And that was Alonso, who's the biggest guy.
He's a big fella, you know, so just wanted to go and talk to him, make sure everything's good. You know, how's your family? That kind of stuff. Usually if you start asking them questions off topic, they lose track of what's really going on.
Cardinals and Diamondbacks tonight's second inning. Tommy Edman base hit to score Harrison Bader, 3-0 Cardinals. Cardinals are not hitting homers, but they are stinging the ball. Paul Goldschmidt, 3 more hits. This one is going to score Paul DeYoung. Goldie now hitting .296. All 15 hits tonight were singles. But the story was Dakota Hudson, a no-hitter for 5 1/3. He went 6, allowed 1 hit, and struck out 4. Wow, he's got it going. And you got to see this in the 6th inning. Yadier Molina channeling his inner Vince Coleman. That is a stolen base, number 70 for his career, and the Cardinals win it 8-3. About 150 people were at Herbert Hoover's Boys and Girls Club tonight on Grand Avenue for the NFL Draft. They were there to celebrate Jamison Williams, the pride of Cardinal Ritter. He started there as a 6-year-old. There he is, number 3 in that picture. And this year, he was the best wide receiver in college football. So this is what happened.
With the 12th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Jamison Williams, wide receiver, Alabama.
And it's amazing because 13 weeks ago, Jamison was having ACL surgery. He is already running 4.4 40-yard dashes. At Alabama, he had nearly 1,600 receiving yards this season, averaged nearly 20 yards a catch. So what has Jamison meant to that club?
Man, he's a model of what we do every day. He's the reason why a person like myself comes to work here for 26 years, because we know that there are many other Jamison Williams here in the club today, and it's my job, along with Dr. Fowler, our president, to make sure we get more Jamison Williams.
The Blues are a great sports team, and they are hooking up with a great St. Louis business. Stiefel will be the jersey sponsor beginning next season. It's a 5-year deal, and it's the way professional sports is trending. On the ice, the Blues are trending to greatness, a point in 16 of their last 17. They will close out this wonderful regular season by hosting the Golden Knights tomorrow. A little bit of COVID and a lot of injuries couldn't stop this freight train this season.
We got everybody back, and it was just, I think, you know, it took a little bit of time to just find the roles and combinations that worked again, but we got it going, and the guys did a good job, and we went on a good run.
A Superstar Sports Plus Sunday night at 10:30. Ryan O'Reilly, Robert Thomas, and Nolan Arenado. And that will do it in sports.
We'll look forward to that, Frank. Thanks.
Highway to the danger zone. Boeing delivers a new jet to the Air Force, and it showcases the revolutionary work of St. Louisans.
Boeing unveiled its new T-7A Red Hawk trainer jet. Its name and red tail pays tribute to the Tuskegee Airmen, a heroic group of primarily African-American pilots who fought in World War II. The jet will be used to train the next generation of bomber pilots and fighter pilots for the U.S. Air Force. Boeing says its St. Louis workforce has revolutionized high-tech methods to design and build the aircraft.
That is the first new airplane Boeing has built in more than 30 years, and they're going to build 351 of them.
And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Guest tonight, Christina Ricci and Diplo. Start your day with Today in St. Louis at 4:30 a.m. Have a great Friday.